let's begin kind of at the beginning. I want to start with the path that led you to coffee bean and tea leaf. You've been an ops guy, and you've been an ops guy most of your professional life. Talk to me about what you love about it, how you became best in the world at it, and through what you learned through the organizations that you were a part of.
Gosh, that is a profound set of questions right
Yeah,
there.
isn't it?
So,
Right out the gate.
right out of the gate. So, let's start at the beginning. I was familiar with the coffee bean and tea leaf back from the time I'd spent in Asia over 2 decades ago. I remember walking into a mall, experiencing the concept when the only alternative available was Starbucks. Oh my gosh, this is a really smartly put together brand and concept, and I wonder who's behind this and what's happening. So it was very innovative, cut through, and it stuck in my head. Life took me literally around the globe since then. I cut to the pandemic. Like so many others in the industry, I'm thinking about what does this mean for me in my career and what I want to do next. And I was approached around the same time by folks from the coffee bean and tea leaf saying, hey, we've recently acquired the brand in the company. We think the US is an enormous white space for us, but this is a turnaround opportunity of a much loved legacy brand. What do you think? And for me, the fact that it had fantastic core product, the brand resonated in some quite a bit of work that needed to happen that I felt my skill set could make an impact on. That's what resonated. And then the people that I met along the way, Josh, were like wonderful, talented, sincere, just felt like their heart was in the right place. And I was like, okay, sign me up.
How
Uh, so that's
how
how I
did
got here.
how did mentorship play a role in your evolution as a leader that got you to the place you are?
So I started my career as a restaurant manager in the hotel business
Oh,
back in the day. And then from there went on to be got into the chain restaurant business and so on, and built my career from ground up. Every step of the way, I was very blessed to have mentors in my life. Sometimes these mentors sat me down and said, you're getting ahead of your skis, gave me some tough love. At other times, they were the ones that pushed me to dream bigger than I thought I could achieve things. And as my career grew, there were mentors who were very helpful in addressing very specific things. So I'll give you an example. At one point, I was in a large company, and someone said, hey, look, in order for you to grow and take on large general management roles, people need to want to feel like they would work for you. And you are not authentic. And if you don't come across as being an authentic leader, we can't promote you. So those were the sorts of situations where I have turned to very specific mentors and said, look, I need help. This is the problem I have. How do I deal with this? And multitude of times that's happened. And I can't thank my mentors enough that helped me in so many different ways on my journey.
that had to be hard to hear, huh? Like you're inauthentic as a I mean, you just like one human to another. Like there's some feedback that you could, I think one would rather hear that they are stupid or unintelligent than inauthentic.
I,
Um, how did you reconcile that and how did you work on it?
Josh, I think that destroyed me. It destroyed
Yeah.
me. One of the personal values I thought was important to me at that stage of my life, and it still is, was integrity. And in that stage, I just thought, hey, the opposite of authenticity is duplicitous. And someone's telling me that I'm not, lack personal integrity. I just didn't know what was causing it, why I was portraying this. And whilst people were able to identify the problem, I really struggled to understand how to fix it or what I was doing specifically, what part of my behaviors was leading to this perception. So the way I dealt with this was to first off swallow my pride and come to terms with the feedback and say perception is reality. That was not easy. And then start to ask people, hey, here's the feedback that I've been given, professional opinion. Tell me, can you connect the dots for me and tell me how I'm showing up, and how might that be leading to the perception that I lack authenticity. And as I started seeking feedback from a core set of people that I call it my board of directors, my personal board of directors, people that I know and trust and value their opinion, they were very generous with feedback, and they started saying things like, hey, when we go up to meetings, we sometimes think that what you say is what everybody wants to hear as opposed to what Sanjeev really thinks. So that was an example that you're politically correct in the choice of your words, that you don't take contrarian positions, that perhaps that leads to the perception that you lack courage. So I had to mine for specific insights that helped me connect the dots between showing up and what perception was that leading to. Challenge number one. From there, I seeked out a mentor, was vulnerable, shared the feedback, shared what I was trying to achieve, and then said, look, I'm committed, help me get there. Also, I signed up for some structured leadership development where you go to a program when someone runs psychometric diagnostics in you, you get a ton of feedback, they shake you up, and then they try and build you up all over again in a structured way. So I did that as well, and started really working on not being what I call the fight or flight type of leader, but the collaborative, leading from love and courage kind of leader. And what that meant, how should I show up, how should I behave. So it was a long journey, and it took me about 12 to 18 months to start to correct that perception, but it was a concerted effort. And I took that on as a project and felt very good at the end of it that I put a dent on that.
You've worked at a variety of different organizations. Some really big, like Pizza Hut, and then some are smaller, but not, I mean, startup E, like Sweet Green.
Mm.
And I'm curious to know what's the difference between building and a mammoth organization like Pizza Hut versus a newer startup.
There is a set of things that are incredibly common, and then there is a group of things that are very, very different. And I think success lies in being able to identify what is the commonality that I can take transferable skills and learnings into, and what should I be very aware that is incredibly different, and I need to make sure that I'm not treating both of them the same. So that was a lens that I had up front. And Pizza Hut spent 20 years with that brand in a variety of different markets. Pizza Hut was a brand that had a lot of infrastructure, systems, support, tools, but growth, and how do you grow in a environment where you have the basic infrastructure available, systems, procedures, things that you can just take for granted. So there one applied a lot of people leadership, but just solving business problems. Okay, how do I grow faster? What's getting in the way? How do I dominate my competition? Frame the problem, I say, is when you are in that big environment. Be very crystal clear in your mind on what is the problem I'm trying to solve, and what might be the big two or three things that in my role or in my business or my part of the world I'm going to get behind. Those were the kinds of things. To some of the smaller organizations that I've worked with, what was common in my mind was you lead people the same way, you connect the same way, you think about your customers or your guests in the same way. Guest experience has to be thought about the same way. Product quality, in many regards, has to be thought about the same way. Running a PM is very similar, whether it's in a large scale or small scale. Is the resources available, the systems available, the infrastructure that you can lean on? And that's when you have to make the leap between I'm a large corporate employee, and actually I'm now in a very entrepreneurial environment where I need to be very resourced very differently, roll up my sleeves and be extremely nimble. So, what are specific examples of that? For example, you're trying to introduce a new product in Pizza Hut. You probably do consumer research to figure out what trends are consumers liking. And then you create a bunch of products through probably a 12-month long process. Then you test those, then you pilot them, and then 18 months later, you might introduce a half a dozen products or not. When you're in a smaller, more nimble environment, you just do not have the luxury of research dollars, time, resources, of any of that. You're like, okay, I need some new products to get some excitement. I'm going to walk the street and see what's going on. I'm going to go into a grocery store and see what flavors and trends are happening. I want to see the cutting edge of shops. Like, I live in LA, so you go to Erewhon, which is like the one end of what's happening, and I'll also see what's happening in popular culture and the mass. I'm going to figure this out myself with a couple of people from my team, right? Go and you talk to a couple of vendors and say, here's what we're trying to, this is the kind of beverage we're trying to make, or a piece of food. What's available off the shelf that meets these trends or needs? You roll up your sleeves and you say, you know what? We're going to roll the dice. We don't have time to test it. Put it for 2 days in a store, get some guest feedback, and you run with it. So that is the kind of pivot that one has to make. But at the same time, how do you build an aligned team? How do you build trust? All of that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter where you are. Those are universal truths, and you do well to make sure you carry that from one role to another.
I do interviews like this all the time, and I'll sit with founders, and I'll be like, "Why is your restaurant so successful? Why were you able to build such a prolific brand?" And sometimes I get these really complex, thoughtful answers, and sometimes I get, we have the best food and beverage program possible. And when I get the latter, no idea why you're successful. And I think that Coffee Bean beautifully illustrates that point because Coffee Bean has consistently had great product, right? Great product is table stakes at this point. Good to great service is table stakes at this point. But you were brought in to turn around a brand that
Hmm.
had good to great service and good to great products and was failing to compete competitively in the market. So in with a vision of what success was outside of product. What is that?
So, as I looked at all aspects of the brand, at a high level, what became very clear to us, our success is because we have the best coffee, the best tea, the best flavorings that we add to it. In fact, I would call them like Bentley or Rolls Royce level products, right? Like, we had the best of the best. And power to all those who came in before I did, that in the face of a lot of adversity, we did not ever compromise with the core product quality. So that was already existing. The challenge was that in order for one to grow and invest in the business, you need to have a strong, scalable, unit level economic model. If you can make money in one cafe or one restaurant at a time, you can scale this up and make it as big as you want. And our challenge was that we had all of this phenomenal quality product, but because we hadn't invested in the assets, we hadn't remodeled and invested in digital and technology, or told the story of our product quality, our ability to price for what that quality was limited. So now you are pegging your pricing to a competitive set that has a not so high quality product, let's just put it this way, and you're trying to sell it at the same price as them with an input cost that is far in excess of them, right? So that's the nub of the business issue. And for me, I think the first thing was to get to the core of what the issue is. So the business model problem was, as I said, very high quality, high cost ingredients being sold at the same competitive prices at the kind of mediocre ingredient input cost. You can't compete with that. So from there led to the strategy with, okay, so what do we do now? Right. And we kind of put together a very simple framework. We said, our turnaround plan, we're going to call it Brew, because that's the business we're in. So our plan is Brew. So what does that mean? The first thing is B, for building a global, people are willing to pay the right price for the right product, right? And so, number one priority was, let's tell the story of our brand, let's tell the story of our quality and ingredients, and not be all things to all people. Differentiate and be a very clearly positioned brand. So that's Point number one. Point number two of our brew strategy was reignite growth. And we had to reignite growth by saying, okay, we're a regional concept in the US at the moment, even though we're globally present in 30 countries. So our strategy was, let's fortify California, let's penetrate Arizona, and enter Texas as our new market. And then we were very successful in non traditional locations like airports and hospitals. Let's scale that up. So reignite growth. The E was to elevate talent and electrify engagement. You can't win in this business without people. We had to invest in upgrading talent, invest in their development, invest in engaging franchisees. That kind of what I call elevate and engage talent and the broader team, including our franchisees. And the W of our brew was win on digital. Technology is table stakes now. It's not even a differentiator in our industry anymore. It used to be pre-pandemic, post-pandemic. You're dead in the water if you're not there. So the win on digital for us, man, let's upgrade our loyalty program, fix the problems with our app, get on board with things like digital menu boards, line busting, foundational things that allow this business to be a seamless omni-channel business. So Brew, build a global tea and coffee house, reignite growth, elevate talent and electrify engagement, and win on digital. That was our plan.
For the independent restaurants that are listening, I think that there's a string to tug on there, and I think it's around value perception. I think that that is the biggest hurdle for everyone. That I heard this old adage a long time ago. It's absolutely the case that price is only an issue if value isn't established. So people say people only pay so much for food. I would respectfully disagree. Paired with the right audience, you can sell anything for anything out there. Um, and that's in order for you to achieve your ambitions with Brew, you had to know that in this repositioning, you were going to alienate an existing part of your audience, which is hard for most owners and operators.
It is definitely tough, right? And this is where choice making comes in. I think, let me put it this way, there's extremely few brands that can be all things to all people. There are a few, but they're extremely few, right? That is a very high risk strategy if you're trying to be a broad concept, because you just lose the lane that you're swimming in. So the thing is, you got to choose your lane. Now, here's a couple of things that I have learned, but in life, right, in this business that may be relevant to people. I think fact number one, if you're playing in the high quality kind of space, whether it's some story about your product, your ingredients, how you source, how you prep, how you, let's say you're a scratch cooking kind of concept, or you only source from farm to table, or you're doing something so unique. If you do not tell anybody that you're doing that, and it's the best kept secret in the world, it does not matter what you're doing. We all think that these things, people's palate can tell the difference, and yes, it can. It's very hard to tell the difference if the story is not being told by the brand of what makes your product special and different, because that's where the value gets created. So if there's one thing that I'd ask people to think about is, in your own little way, how are you telling the story of what makes your product different? Therefore, there should be some value attached to it. Please tell that story, whether it's on your Instagram, whether it's on a poster in your restaurant, whether it's through your menu card or flyer or however on your packaging. Seize every consumer touch point and don't hesitate to tell your story. Learning number one. Learning number two is that whilst we're trying to pick a swim lane, just as much as there are concepts that are very few that succeed in being extremely broad, there are equally very few concepts that can succeed in being extremely narrow. So the vast majority of concepts play somewhere in that middle, right? Where you got a reasonably broad appeal, but you're not extremely narrow, extremely broad. For that sweet spot, as you think about value, think about entry, core, and premium. What is your entry level? You afford your brand for the most, trying to access it, wants to enjoy it, your restaurant, your cafe, whatever it is. Have something an entry level that people can access, that'll drive value perception. It'll make your brand accessible. What is the core? That's where you want to peg competitively, right? Your price points, your portion sizes, so that the price value perception is pegged at who you are at the core. And then always to afford your value entry price point, so that folks who want to be a little bit more indulgent on a given day have something that they can turn to from your menu that gives them a more indulgent experience for a price. So, stating the obvious here, but I thought I'd call that out because time and again, I've found that that becomes a critical framework for just setting up your concept in a way that you can win.
Here's what I found, and I did it in my own concepts, and I've supported many other restaurateurs over the year in turning around their businesses. It's all simple. It's just not easy, and there's a chasm between the two of those things, right?
Absolutely. Simplicity is hard. Simplicity is hard. Simplicity of structuring your menu, structuring your pricing, structuring your operating platform, structuring how you plate something. Simplicity is hard, but it is compelling. Your consumers will love it, your team will love it once you get there, but all the hard work that goes into making something simple is not to be underestimated, also to be embraced. So if you're struggling with trying to make something simple, don't be disheartened. But I'd say, pick the best brains in the world, perhaps get a mentor, get there's people outside who want to help, seek help, and but apply yourself to the task of getting to simplicity, but don't expect it to be easy, like you said.
Let's talk about the transition from COO to CEO.
Hmm.
Two offices, which are probably pretty close to each other in proximity, but
Hmm.
are a world away in terms of scope. Um, I would assume that for you over the last couple of years, you're still learning in your career, right? Like a new job and a new company, a new
Hmm.
role is a new opportunity to learn. So, in your time in this role, what have you learned?
Josh, let me start by saying how I prepared for the role and then what I've learned from the role as well. I think going from CEO to CEO, being the president of the company or being a general manager of a business has been something that for some people, they get thrown into the role or it's sort of thrust upon them. For me, this has been a lifelong ambition. I've wanted it very deeply. So I've thought about it, I've chased it, and I've prepared myself for it. And for me, again, it went back to saying, okay, how do I prepare for this? So the first thing I did was that I needed to build my career in a way that I had expertise in more than one area. I knew from the word go, you can't be an expert at everything, but you can be an expert or know enough to be dangerous in more than one functional area. So for me, I seeked out roles. I was chief development officer of Pizza Hut UK, concept development roles, marketing roles. So I broadened myself, made it known within my company that that's how I wanted to grow my career, and pushed my employers to open doors and opportunities for cross functional roles. So if somebody out there also shares a similar aspiration of, hey, I need to get to a certain role, ask yourself the question, what will you need to do to get there? And start making it known in given those opportunities. So I think that was number one. Number two, how are you constantly sharpening your saw and keeping abreast of what's happening, not just in your company, but outside the company in the industry, right? So for me, whether that was listening to podcasts, reading books, attending seminars, talking to people who know, networking. It was a concerted effort to constantly learn and be curious and figure out what else is happening. That was super helpful. And the third thing was talk to people who are already doing that role and say, look, how did you make that transition? Nobody gets put into the CEO role overnight. So, how did you prepare for it and get there? And one of the best pieces of advice I got was look, in that role, you're fundamentally taking care of three things. You have to have clarity on what is your consumer proposition or what is it that makes your concept compelling to your customer. How do you make money? What's your business model? Be very clear about how your business model becomes more successful. What are the levers that you can pull? And the third thing is, in our business, the operating platform, or how you operate, becomes so critical. So those are the three things of a three-legged stool: the consumer, the operating platform, and the financial model. And so that gave me a framework to think about, okay, so if I want to become a general manager, be mindful of this balance on how do we win consumers, how do we make money, and how do we operate. So that was helpful. When I got into the role, I think the big learning for me was, number one, don't be over intrusive in the areas or the functional areas that you come from. So I stopped, I got out of the way of the operations team because that's where I come from. I'm often tempted to jump in there just because that's where my kind of hardwiring is, from a lot of different areas, being in your comfort zone. Um, Number two, I think by the time you get to roles at these levels, you're dealing with very talented people. So I spend my energy now, 20 to 30% of my time I expend on people, whether it's hiring, development, team building, engagement. That is very different. I don't think I've spent 30% of my time doing that in previous roles for me. And part of that is coaching. So I've learned to resist the urge to express my opinion less and ask more questions. And the biggest learning is, if you surround yourself with great people and the right talent, then all they need is to be stimulated by and cause them to think by asking the right questions, and then allowing collaboration and co-creation to take place, so that you get not just intellectual commitment, but you get emotional commitment to what you're trying to achieve. So those were some of the learnings. And I think the third thing was that it's lonely at the top, right? And you hear it, but you never know what the heck that people mean by that until you're in that situation. So I think the if you have to show up every day being as positive as you can, being the cheerleader for the team, that's hard. So you've got to work on your own self-care, and also just talk to yourself about saying you can only focus on the things you can control and not worry about that which you can't, right? And then also continue to remind your team of that, right? Otherwise you can pull yourself down. So those were two or three things that I've learned since.
You bring up an interesting point, and if we were to take this conversation one rung up, what you're talking about is clearly defining your role, that you're clearly your role and the highest and best use of your time. When I sit down for coaching sessions, initial coaching sessions
Mhm.
with independent restaurant owners or operators, the first question I ask is, how do you spend your time? And then they share, and I say, oh, well, you're a restaurant manager. You're not a restaurant owner. Like, you may own the equity, but you function as a restaurant manager. And the reason that they do is because they never took the time to think about, and I was guilty of this for a decade or so myself. I never took the time to think about, well, now that I own, how should my role change? How should it evolve? I was very comfortable, like you mentioned, in slipping back into that operational role because that's what I'm really good at. That's what got me to the level of ownership. Talk to me about the process that you went through to role and what the highest and best use of your time is, and to pair that with the accountability measures that you've put in place for yourself to make sure that you do indeed fulfill those duties.
So I'd like to break that down into two ways. But the mantra is something that I've heard from my mentors and other successful leaders, which is, invest time in doing things that only you can do. It's simple. If you ask yourself this question, am I the only person who can be doing this? Then yes, that you should be investing your time in that. And if there's three other people in your company who can be doing this, or your team, then that's probably not the best use of your time, right? So I think that for me was the overall very high level filter. But with that said, a framework that I've learned and works for me, Josh, is what I call the strategy, structure, culture model. So let me explain how I've used that. I think for me, in any new role, not just in my current role, but every single new role that I take on, and often at the beginning of every year, co create strategy. And what I mean by that is I sit down with my team, sometimes invite other team members to it who may not be on my direct team, but who are relevant. And we put the problems on the table, we put our ambitions on the table, and we try and figure out what do we want to achieve and how are we going to get there. Ultimately, that's what strategy is. We try and articulate that in a simple way and put together what I call a plan on a page. Simple way on one page that then we can take to the rest of our team and say, here's what we're trying to do this year. This is our ambition. These are the four things that will get us there. And therefore, this is our plan. So now we have a structure of what I call a strategy, right? Once you have that strategy in place, that becomes very clear about this is the biggest priorities for the company or my team or my restaurant, and this is where I want to devote the most of my time. Following that, I would encourage everyone to create what I call a structure. What do I mean by structure? Okay, so let's say your plan is that this year, making this up, I want to move my Instagram followers from 10,000 to because we believe that that is going to be a low cost advertising. We can keep our customers engaged, whatever may be the reason. How are we going to structure our time to get there? Who is going to own that task? How are we going to resource it? Will we do it in house? Are we going to get external help to get that done? How much money are we going to set aside for that? How often are we going to meet to discuss success or progress on that objective? Is that a weekly stand up conversation? Is that a monthly meeting? How are we going to track it down? Is to put very clear. And does somebody own it, right? Is there an individual who is assigned the biggest priority on the team to run that? So having clarity and structure became super important. And then following that is culture. Can I identified what I'm trying to achieve, how I'm going to get there through a very clear structure, metrics, owners, operating rhythms, and then finally, how are we building a culture that makes doing all of this fun? Intuitively, just sort of playing along, but having a very purposeful way of building culture around that. So if the culture in this is, hey, we're going to be committed to product quality, then what things are you going to do to catalyze that? So have a plan to do that. So strategy, structure, culture. That's the mantra that I've approached. And then when you overlay that with invest time in only the things you can do, and it leads to a really nice framework of do I devote my time. I will say though is from the world changes at such a rapid pace, Josh, that revisiting that every 3 to 4 months is probably a good discipline at the moment. I used to revisit it every 12 months, and I now find that 12 months is almost like a lifetime away. The world changes so rapidly. So I revisit these things quarterly and try and ask myself, am I still focused on the right things? Is my time being devoted on the best use case scenario?
I could be wrong here, but I'm going to take a guess that once you figured out the what in strategy, everything else for strategy, structure, and culture is a question around who.
Very much. It's a question around who and follow up. And what I mean by that is often you think, like, sometimes you place your bets on someone about, okay, who's going to lead this and how they're going to get there. And that's great. And you say, okay, hey, you're going to do this. Sanjiv, this is your task. You're going to own this big priority for us. But I think follow through is important because unless you follow through, you don't know how this person is getting along with, how can we accelerate their growth. So follow through is really important. But yes, it's very much about who.
How do you build an inclusive culture, especially at like a high level leadership level, where I've got to believe that especially when it comes to a turnaround, that you're having to embrace failure on a regular basis as you iterate, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't.
I'm deeply, deeply passionate about people and culture. So I've given this a lot of thought, trying to learn from, always trying to learn how to up my game on this and build stronger teams and stronger culture. So here's what my current and best thinking around this is. First of all, culture is not in vacuum. Every organization, every team, every family has a culture. question is that being built with purpose, or is it, just by accident? If one is trying to build purposeful cultures, then one has to be very clear on what is our culture going to stand for. For example, do you have a clearly articulated set of core values or not? If you've not articulated them, then it's not, it could be very simple, it could be three things, but be very deliberate and clear about what your values are, what other things are going to be important in that culture, right? So I think just defining what of this culture are, and putting them again on a piece of paper, so that it's there's what I call bullet through the head clarity. Does everybody know with complete avoidance of doubt exactly what we're talking about? So I think that's one starting point. The second thing is a framework that I use that really helps to develop and propagate this culture. And I call it the M shirt framework. So let me explain what that is. These are mnemonics, and I love trying to remember things with mnemonics. So M is like, think of it as a medium shirt. So M is for memories. Any culture is built on constantly creating fresh memories in a team around the components of that culture. When you walk into a team or an office or an organization or a restaurant, and you start hearing things like, oh, in the old days, we used to have team meeting, or, we used to be really passionate about speed of service, and we would have these competitions. If the vernacular is we used to, you have a problem. So it's lovely to have heritage, but what are we doing to keep that current, right? So how do we create memories that stick in our emotional, and are you bringing, so I'll give you an example. If you're in a restaurant where speed of service is critical, then are you having some fun ways of driving speed of service? Are you having competitions? Are you tracking speed? Are you sort of finding ways of signaling and creating moments around that, right? I was in the pizza business for a long time. We'd walk into our restaurants and get the cooks to prepare the same pizza, and we time them and say who's making it fast, and we have fun with it, and we give them pins and hats and badges and celebrate them and all of that kind of fun. So it became a fun memory every time you came in. So memories become important. S stands for stories. What stories are you telling in your organization or in your team? And how do you take what you're seeing somewhere that reinforces your culture, and how do you literally find opportunities to tell those stories? And heroes, in a very gender neutral kind of way, who are you putting up? Who are your poster child? Who are you recognizing? How are you recognizing them? How are you rewarding them? And are you celebrating them and making them heroes? So create memories, tell stories, create heroes around people who are doing the things that you value the most in the culture. R is for rituals. Culture is a function of rituals that you create, right? Tribes, they have a ritual around births, they have a ritual around deaths, they have a ritual around marriage, all this kind of stuff. What are your rituals? When somebody joins the company, what's your ritual? When they get certified and trained, what's your ritual? When they get promoted, what's your ritual? When there's someone's birthday, what's your ritual? When you open a new restaurant, what's your ritual? How are you creating rituals that reinforce your culture? It could be small, it could be big. Give you an example. Recognition, we have a little bell. We ring the bell in the office when we're trying to recognize someone, even if it's a little recognition card or a pin we're giving to someone. We gather everybody around, they drop what they're doing, and that's our ritual. And we give them a shout out, and everybody goes back and does what they're doing. We've recently, as we've started getting into hybrid work, created Bragging Fridays. It's 15 minutes at 4 o'clock in the evening every Friday. Everybody, it's voluntary, jumps onto the call. What you did this week. That's a ritual. It's fun, it's cathartic. People have take great pride in what they achieve, and it's a nice way to wrap up the week. So, what is your rituals that are driving your culture? And T is for taboo. How are you being very explicit? You can't have 100 taboos in your organization, but what are the things that when people play with, their hand should burn? Be very explicit. You fail a health and safety inspection, that should be taboo in the restaurant business. Health inspection example. And then here is what happens, this is the consequences attached to that. So memories, stories, heroes, rituals, and taboos. And for me, if you can be very, very specific about these dimensions and how you apply them to building your culture, that really leads to, it makes it, first of all, very easy as a leader because you can think about it in a structured way, but you can even teach it and you can get your team behind.
The greatest leaders that I know are great at making hard decisions. It's the hardest part of leadership is firing a really great person who is no longer right for the job, or sitting down and having a really tough conversation with someone you think the world of. Um, I would imagine in a turnaround like this, that especially in the first 12 to 18 months, endless series of hard decisions that needed to be made. How do you reconcile that? How do you stick to your guns? How do you rev yourself up? Because I believe that hard decisions, obvious hard decisions that must be made, are one of the greatest entrepreneurial hurdles there are.
Yeah, for sure, Josh. And I think there were a lot of hard decisions to be made, and we continue to make them. I think I walked into a situation where we had some talent that was absolutely tenured and brilliant, and other people who were unfortunately put in the wrong role for them, or over promoted, or just, in what I call battlefield roles and promotions, where when we switched and pivoted into the growth mode, not everybody was able to get out of the battlefield mindset and zone and make it to, here's how I lead or work through a growth environment. So some of the things that work: radical candor and transparency, that whole authenticity piece, right? Just be transparent from day one about what the expectations are from the business and from the individual. And by that, it always helps to have documented expectations in some shape or form, whether it's goals, objectives, or even if you had a one on one saying, here's what I expect from you, drop an email saying, hey, we just spoke, just summarizing what we've agreed to do. Here are the three things you're going to do. Just leave it. That's it, right? It helps the employee, it helps the supervisor, and it just provides clarity. So, number one, just setting clear expectations, super helpful. And number two, being unafraid and making it a habit of providing feedback. So if you're in the habit of providing feedback, whether it is, hey, what a great job, those were the three things we agreed to do, you've accomplished them all. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. What do you think you want to be working on next? When that culture exists as a regular feature, it's so much easier to provide tough feedback because it's not out of character. It's not unique. You're not having to create special time and place and sit down and say, let's talk about how you're doing, because you always talk about how someone's doing. So I think from the word go, start creating those feedback conversations. And may I add that also seeking feedback, right, is equally important. So he's able to, it's not a one way street, also able to have the time space to be able to say, hey, here's what's going really well for me or not. But by the way, here's the help I need from you. Or if you could lead me differently or help me prioritize, I can't do all three of them at the moment. I can only do two. Which two of these three would you pick? Make sure that the employee has the space to have that conversation. So I think for me that was the other piece that I was very disciplined in trying to do from the word go. And I think the third thing is that if and when there is a difficult decision to be made, and it will be, and people should be making them, otherwise the bigger business suffers. I think, how are you going to leave people feeling? For me, that was always, if someone has to be let go or someone has to be told this is just not the right fit and it's time to call it, just the nature of that conversation, I always take a lot of time to think about it, imagine it in my head. I put myself in the shoes of the receiving person. It's never going to be pleasant, but how can I conduct it in a way that, 2 months later, when they reflect on it, that individual can say, I was treated with respect. May not be the outcome I wanted, but at least I was treated with respect. So I think that is become, it allows me to sleep well at night, saying, it was a hard decision, but I did my best to treat the person that I had to have the tough conversation with respect. So those are the three things that have really helped me navigate these waters.
Our industry is filled with unspoken rules and traditions about how things should be done. How would you like to see our industry turn the tables to create a better future for all of us?
Gosh, I think our industry, first of all, is going through an unprecedented amount of change, and you can just see it all around us. It's happening in the way that we operate. It's happening certainly in the area of technology and digital, but it's also happening in the kind of people and leaders that are going to succeed in this business and how we work together. And what I'd like to see more and more of, two or three things. I think number one, mentoring is vital, structured development for our people. We are quite possibly the second largest employer as an industry in the US. One out of five people in the US has at some stage worked in our industry. And yet, if you look at the amount of organizations that provide the ability of not skill based training, I'm not talking about let me teach you how to prepare a sandwich or a burger or whatever it is that you're doing. I'm talking about here's how to create a labor schedule or how to manage your conversation, how to motivate your team, how do you inspire people, how do you write a compelling piece of communication. Those kinds of things we don't teach, and I would love to see our industry investing more in that. One way of doing that is through mentoring. I'm so passionate about that. I participate in a nonprofit called Gleam Network that provides mentoring very, very low cost individuals. It's an all volunteer nonprofit organization for anybody that's interested in either volunteering their time or seeking mentorship. Please visit Gleam Network and you'll see what options are available for you. So, one is I just love to see more investment in people in whichever way we can do this. I think the second thing is that for all of us, me included, I think from what is happening in our environment and pattern thinking, what is happening in other adjacent industries that we can apply in our industry. We tend to be quite insular. At best, when we do things, we're looking at restaurant level conferences and best practice sharing and creating that. At worst, we bury our head in the sand. Can we look at digital banking? Can we look at airlines? Can we look at what Clear is done at the airport or just B2C virtual businesses, e-commerce? I think we've got to learn to start seeing what else is happening around us that is applicable and apply those patterns to our business to leapfrog. I'd love to see those two things happening.
Let me stop the recording.